In a nutshell, the story is about a high school freshman who refuses to participate in a school fundraiser chocolate sale. The refusal challenges the dominance of the headmaster and a secret school gang called the Vigils. A showdown ensues. The ringleader reminds me of these two characters. I didn't realize this when reading the book, but the adjacent movie scenes made it clear. Brother Leon, Archie, and Janza all single out their victims. Also, Brother Leon makes a star student do his bidding by threatening an F, and Archie makes Janza do his bidding with blackmail. For the rest of this video, I'm going to highlight 19 pages I found interesting. You could take a kid's lunch money and nothing usually happened because most kids wanted peace at any price, but you had to choose your victims carefully. You could also make people squirm by saying, "Did you lay a fart?" What a dirty thing to do. He sometimes felt actually horny when he roughhoused a kid or tackled a guy viciously in football. This was a poetic description of giving it your all during a jog. Was life that dull, boring, and humdrum? In an act of mischief, the Vigils unscrewed all the furniture in a classroom to the point where everything would collapse with a little push. This reminded me of Fight Club. I never knew football was so much raw drive and muscle. They admired him, but they didn't want to get too close in case something backfired. This was after the mischief prank. Obi had a thin, sharp face with a permanent worried look. That's why he was such an obvious stooge, an errand boy. The kind of kid you couldn't help kicking when he was down. And you also knew that he would get up again and vow revenge, and never have the nerve or the know how to take that revenge. There's something rotten in that school. What they did to me that night in the classroom, I was crying like a baby. And what they did to Brother Eugene and you, Jerry. When a gross creep like Rollo comes in here and challenges the Vigils, then there's something wrong. Very wrong. We can't afford to have guys like Rollo thinking they can screw around with us. The word will spread, and the Vigils fall apart. The poster proclaimed, "Screw the chocolates and screw the Vigils." If Jerry can get away with defying us, other people are going to try too. First of all, you can't go around beating up half the kids in school. That's why I usually lay off the strong arm stuff. The brothers would close us down in no time, and the kids would really start sabotaging if we started hurting people. Rollo's an example. Let the word spread about Rollo, and we won't have to worry about other kids acting wise or putting up posters. Do I dare disturb the universe? Jerry suddenly understood the poster. The solitary man on the beach standing upright and alone and unafraid, poised at the moment of making himself heard and known in the world, the universe. Goober sold his 50 boxes, someone called. The Goober started to step forward and protest. He had stopped at 27 to show that he was supporting Jerry, even though nobody knew, not even Jerry. And now the whole thing evaporated, and he found himself sinking back in the shadows, as if he could shrivel into invisibility. He knew his days at Trinity would be numbered if he walked into the group of jubilant guys and told them to erase the 50 beside his name. He willed himself to feel nothing. And if you didn't feel all these things, then why was he crying all the way to his locker? Eyes avoiding his. Looking away. Kids giving him wide berth. It was as if he were the carrier of a terrible disease, and nobody wanted to become contaminated. And so they rendered him invisible, eliminating him from their presence. Like Back to the Future, all you have to do is call the main character Chicken. He also ached for a chance to confront Janza. Janza, who called him a fairy. There's a box with 5 white marbles and 1 black marble. The rule is Archie has to pick a marble, and if it's black, then he's unlucky. Archie's own colleagues root for his downfall. The law of averages, they say. Janza feels subhuman. As soon as the words were out of his mouth, Carter realized his error. They hadn't warned the crowd about illegal punches, and there was always a wise guy out there ready to pull a fast one. That reminded me of the South Park troll scene. Triumphantly, he watched Janza floundering on weak, wobbly knees. Jerry turned toward the crowd, seeking, what? Applause? They were booing. Booing him. Shaking his head, trying to reassemble himself, squinting, he saw Archie in the crowd, a grinning, exultant Archie. A new sickness invaded Jerry, the sickness of knowing what he had become, another animal, another beast, another violent person in a violent world, inflicting damage, not disturbing the universe, but damaging it. He had allowed Archie to do this to him. The ending reminded me of Saul Goodman, where the other lawyer challenges him to a boxing match, fair and square. He's even got the parted hair.